And we are live on the Icecast Live. Sam, put away your mince pie. It's too early anyway. And what's that? Wine?
Hello. It's Christmas, isn't it? Mince pies and wine.
It's not Christmas. It's not Christmas. It's the 15th of December.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, not ready for all that Christmas stuff yet.
What is it? What's the date now? It's the 15th. It's 10 days. I think. Yeah. I agree with you. Early Christmas is wrong Christmas, but 10 days. I think you're all right to have a mince pie and Christmas decorations up.
Oh, you got the deckies up, have you? As you can see, I have not, and I will not be. That's not something I do. But yeah,
you don't have any decorations at all.
No, I don't.
Not even a little dinky little tree.
No, it's just me in the house. So what's the point? You know,
Scrooge.
Yeah,
Scrooge
that's me.
Chebsley.
That's me.
Yeah,
I'm proud. I've got a little halo on my head tonight. It's just the position of the lights. It's so, that's my Christmas
decoration.
Holy,
you don't even celebrate Christmas. Maybe you're a Jehovah's Witness. They don't do all that, do they?
I don't believe they do. No. And that is their prerogative. So tonight on the Icecast Live, we've got a really interesting guest. Someone I've been trying to get on. Well, I haven't tried. As he'll attest, you haven't called me before. But someone I've wanted to get on the show for a while because I've been following what they've been doing. It's really interesting. And as a fellow publisher, I could probably learn a lot from our guest, Mr. Simon Birks of Blue Fox Comics, who has created a veritable empire, a comics empire. I've never seen so many comics on a stand. It's absolutely incredible.
This overtones the word empire, though. You're thinking evil empire, thinking Star Wars, thinking British.
Empires don't have to be evil. They can be altruistic. That's sure Simon's...
Empires. They're the people who run
cricket. No, they're evil.
They are. Yeah. Evil empire.
I'm sure Simon's empire is,
a benign emperor.
Benign
emperor of his
not
emperor.
Evil. We'll ask him when he comes on. So how have you been, Sam? Anyway, before we start, we should ask each other how we are, shouldn't we?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Because we haven't done a show for 2 weeks, have we? And people are probably thinking, what's for one reason or another, we've not been able to do a show for the last 2 weeks. I've struggled a bit myself tonight, actually, because I've hurt my neck. I've had a bad neck all week, and it's just starting to ease off a little bit tonight. But so if I do the Tim Burton Batman thing,
problems, and I had family stuff that I didn't think I was going to be here. It was a last minute thing, but doing all right. Looking forward. Am I looking forward to Christmas? Well, I have 3 kids, so it's all go.
You have to. You're not allowed not to, mate.
I'm forced to. It's
get in the spirit.
Forced jollity. Oh well.
I can tell you're looking forward to it. So we've actually got some comments already. I didn't know that was possible, but I think on Facebook you can comment before the show. So we do have a comment already. Big up, Simon. Love the Blue Fox Lovecraft works.
Let's wait till he's on to show him.
I'm sure he'll respond to that. So let's get cracking, Sam. Let's get the video playing and start the show.
Let's roll VT.
Yeah, that's it. Wow. I don't know what happened there.
Well, what happened?
Did it play for you? It just froze.
It played for me. Yeah, it was fine. Yeah, well,
everything's fine. Oh, okay.
It was brilliant.
Hello, Simon.
Hello,
Simon. Hello. Welcome to the Icecast Live, Simon.
Thank you for finally inviting me.
You've been on our list for a long time now.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly. I mean, I'm really difficult to get hold of. No, anyway, I'm here.
No, it's good to see you, and yeah, a warm welcome, and thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So as we alluded, Christmas decorations.
Yes, they're going up right now. Actually, Marielle, my wife, is just put the tree up because we live in Scotland. I don't sound like it, but I moved up about 3 years ago, and so we just at the beginning of December we went down for a few days to visit family down south. So we've kind of missed out on the generally. I'm honestly a sort of person who quite happy to set them up on the 1st of December, if not earlier. But so we missed out on that. So they're going up. They're going up tonight, which is lovely. So.
Excellent, and you're not being involved in them, which is even better.
Yeah. No, oops. But yeah, I will. I'll try and help when I get down there and they're finished.
Yeah.
Well, that's
just
great.
Eat the mince pie.
Job you've done. Oh, shame I missed it.
I'm sorry. There you go.
Just do the fun stuff. Yeah, just nick a couple of chocolates off the tree.
Yeah, because that'll go down really well.
So, I was wondering, do you know this person, Simon?
No, but clearly, well, I mean, it looks like they're obviously a backer, and we have so many wonderful backers. I'm always, I'm always overwhelmed with the amount of support we get on our crowdfunders. So yes, it's lovely, and obviously there's a lot of people out there, a lot of fans of Lovecraft, and so we.
I'm a fan of Lovecraft.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah, so I would say about 3.5 years ago, no, maybe about 3 years ago. This is about now. Was when we got our submission through from a chap called Adam Fider for the Mountains of Madness, and that's when we had sort of like our first really big Kickstarter. So that was always that was interesting, and that's kind of one of the turning points. But anyway, we can get onto that.
Are you a fan of Lovecraft yourself?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly, honestly, it's a recent thing because people have different interests, and I just didn't have that interest. So, but I enjoy reading the works and adapting them as well, because we adapted The Shadow of Innsmouth. Well, I adapted that, and we're currently adapting The Thing on the Doorstep. And yeah, I'm also going through some shorter stories as well. So yes, I enjoy them. I when I adapt them, I do tweak them, but I do enjoy reading them.
I prefer listening to them being read, than rather reading them. Audiobooks of Lovecraft are the best, I think, definitely.
Yeah.
Depends who's reading them, I would imagine, though.
Yeah, I'm a big audiobook. I don't really have a lot of time to sit. Well, I probably do. I just don't.
Did you read Providence by Alan Moore?
No. You'll soon find out that I haven't read an awful lot of comics. But
okay.
But that's okay. I know of his existence. I'm sure it's very good.
Lovecraft, it's a big tome about Lovecraft and thing, and it's very good. But it's very Lovecraft is a character within Providence. And he's basically doing League of Extraordinary Gentlemen in Lovecraft. All the stories exist in the same universe and happen to, they're all connected. It's really, really good. Mindfuck, but really good.
No, it'll be good. I'd like to read it as and when. So
that's an interesting point you made there, Simon, that you hadn't read a lot of comics. So what brought you into being a publisher? If you where how did Blue Fox begin? Let's put it that way.
Well, I was born. It was. I've always written since I'm about 11 or so, and all sorts of things. I think when I was about 7 or 8, my nan bought me comics, Spider-Man comics. So that's kind of if I have a superhero, that's my superhero because nostalgia.
The reprints or the actual
UK comics,
the weekly, wouldn't it?
Yeah, the weekly UK
black and white ones.
Yes. Sometimes there were also landscape as well. Is that right?
So, there were. Yeah, there was I can't remember the title now. There was a Spider-Man title, and there was the Titans was another. It was Marvel. It wasn't the DC Titans, but there was a couple of titles, wasn't there?
Yeah. So I've always been a nerd as well, and that's the thing. Done a lot of writing. plays and films and lots of stuff. And I had all the short films gathering dust on a hard drive. And I thought, well, okay, I could make these for several £1,000s, but honestly, I don't think I'm going to make any money out of doing that. So really, it was around 2014 or so, a penny dropped somewhere, and I thought maybe I can turn these into comics. And so that's when it first started. Really, did the first Kickstarter January 2015. There you go, exactly.
There we go.
Yeah,
Super Spider-Man.
Spider-Man with
Thank
the
you.
superheroes. Yeah, that's a very unique British thing, isn't it? The landscape comic.
It was cool. I've still got a few of those.
So yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
No, that's cool.
That's my job, by the way, to drop in relevant things.
Just to interrupt. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Continue to do that.
Stop what you say. I'm going to show a picture about something you said 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, usually about 5 minutes after you said it. Yeah.
All right. Nice callback.
Sorry, continue.
Yeah.
That's okay. So we did our first Kickstarter 2015 for Sinners #1, which is our first comic. And that was about, then we took it to some, anyway, 2014, Mario and I sort of went to some Comic Cons just to see what the indie scene was like, and it was very buoyant, really, and it's very nice. I was very enthused by it. So so that got me into actually thinking, okay, this is something I can actually do. But again, never to the stage where I'm at now. But it was I picked up several comics there. One of them being Big Punch Studios' Afterlife Inc.
Great stuff.
Indeed. And one of the artists in there is R.H. Stewart or Roy.
Right.
Yeah, he did. He did one of the stories in there, and I thought, okay, well, if he's willing to do an indie story or to do the art for an indie story, he'll probably be okay or receptive to me talking to him. And and so Roy came on it very early on, did the art for Sinners, still doing the art for Sinners. I guess I think I very quickly learned that not to, for your first comic, do a series of 12, basically. Because people.
It's like your comic. It's 100 pages long.
It's an epic.
It's an epic. And it's part one of 50.
Again, Mario and I were sitting at our first, I think it was London Super Comic Con or whatever it's called, as and when. And sitting there with our #1. And obviously, everyone came up who came up said, "Well, is it a one and done sort of thing?" And you say, "No, it's 1 of 12." And some people bought it, bless them. But it was really, but it was even touch and go for the Kickstarter then. I mean, I think I was asking for £1,200, and I think we did it within the last 2 days or so.
Oh yeah, it can be stressful, can't it? We had one recently. Where we went over the line. I think it was the day before the last day. Yeah, and you think. You're going to do it. All the predictions, all the, all says yes, it's going to do it. But until you do, it's stressful, isn't it? With the Kickstarter platform, at least, because they don't have any sort of flexibility, do they? If you don't get there, you don't get it.
Yeah, indeed. So, it was. So that was quite stressful. But anyway, we did it and did that, and so that was our first sort of big words escape me, but it's the first time we did Kickstarter, and it was fine, and it went. I do wonder what would happen if I hadn't have actually funded on that first one, but anyway, we did, and 49 later, exactly.
Yes, that's the other thing that fascinates me is that 49 campaigns, since 2014.
Wow. Yeah, this beard
that's quite a lot a year, isn't it? How on average? I mean, how many are you doing a year?
1 a month. We do 1 a month.
So you're churning out 12 a year, basically.
Yes,
that's impressive.
Wow, that is an empire.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and we also ran a couple on a different platform this year as well. So
that was crowdfunder, wasn't it?
Yeah, crowdfunder.
So how did you find that? I wanted to ask you about that. Obviously, you only used it for a little while, so I'm assuming it wasn't up to scratch, or am I wrong there?
I'm pleased to say it's a really nice site. It's really good. I would definitely be using it again. We're using Yeah, so we use crowdfunder for System Error, a sci-fi comic, and first 3 issues we did an issue 1 and 2 crowdfunder, and then a separate crowdfunder for an issue 3. Then we took it to, and they did okay. The first one did 1,500, and the second one did £700. But I thought, okay, let's take it. Well, let's just take it because the crowdfunder, as with all these sites, hasn't got the reach that Kickstarter currently has. Hasn't got all those mechanisms and trust and I don't know, reliance. People don't like changing. And
it's a brand that people know. You know, brand reliability is something. It's really strong, isn't it? You know, some people will only trust one platform.
Yeah.
So if you do so many Kickstarters, do you find the same people? Repurchase the new ones, or is it different people all the time, or you building up? You feel like it's building up.
Yeah, you always lose some people, but we've got there's a lot of names that I know that comes up again and again and again and again. So we do have a lot of repeat backers, which is lovely, and it was really nice. But you also obviously do with each campaign you do get new people, and obviously there's also different genres as well. We're not just one genre, so that I think that helps as well. But yeah, so crowdfunder. We will. System Error 4 will be on crowdfunder, and I suspect what we'll do System Error 4, 5, and 6 separately on crowdfunder, and then we'll go back to Kickstarter for those 3 again.
The collection.
So and part of it is trying to bring more people into crowdfunder, the site as well, because I think that for any company really, it helps not to have reliance on one website. So really, I'm trying to cross-pollinate, honestly, our backers and show them that it's a really nice site. I mean, crowdfunder have different sort of models, so they've got
a shop, haven't they? You can sell stuff afterwards. Does that affect
so.
it at all? Have you not gone for that?
Not gone for it, but we use the nearly free option, which basically means people like if you're going to Just Giving, it says, okay, thanks for your £10 donation, would you mind giving us £1 to cover the fee? Basically crowdfunder do the same thing. They say, would you mind covering some of the fees? So on our last one, basically it worked out that I paid 1% of the fees. Well, I paid 1% of the thing in fees, which is actually better than other sites.
That's a lot less than every other site, I think.
Yeah, and they also do have a free option as well. So they've got an option where you just don't pay them anything. But that doesn't seem very fair. That doesn't seem very sensible for
I can't imagine that option sticking around for very long.
I don't know. I mean, they've been running crowdfunding for quite a while. Initially, they used this fundraiser site, which is for social causes, really.
Yeah.
So they've got a lot of experience, and they're great people. Met them at Thought Bubble. They were there, and they even printed out sort of bookmarks for System Error and stuff like that we could hand out. So they're very positive, very helpful. So yes, really like it. Want to do as much as I can for them to again just to level the playing field a bit. I think that would be sensible for everyone involved. But anyway, so that's crowdfunding. We did two of them this year, but we did redo that System Error 1 to 3, and that's what's our current campaign on Kickstarter.
Yeah. Okay.
Well set up. Let's have a look at that.
Thank you very much. I've done this before.
Yeah.
So now we have dollars prices here, but that's due to computer issues on my part. You can pay with any local currency, I think.
Yes.
Not just dollars.
Yeah.
I'm guessing these are American dollars. It could be anything. Could be.
Yeah.
Well, you're on about £8,500 at the moment, aren't you?
Yes.
That's probably US dollars. Yeah.
As you can see, one of the things that you'll notice is that you won't see it here. Well, the actual goal I set for this was £100. I mean, it's very low.
Yes, I did notice that.
Yeah.
Is there what's your thought process behind setting such a low goal?
Yeah, that is low, isn't it? What's that? £100.
Yes. So basically, because we go on to crowdfunder and raise money, so we sort of we raised money. That just helps. So we've got 1 and 2 are well, 1, 2, 3. I've got all the issues, and I'm fairly confident.
What is the point of having a goal? Surely having it low is the best, because then you won't fail.
There certainly is that argument. I think
is that way of looking at it.
You say you can have a goal, but that doesn't inform the people. That people won't go, oh, okay, well, I won't back it now because it's way. In fact, having a low goal, I can't see any disadvantage in having it.
Well, the only disadvantage I know of a low goal, which can happen, is, I mean, obviously you're not in this situation, but if you are, actually expecting more, if you need more to fund it, I mean, because obviously you're not going to fund a book for £100. So if you're in a position where you need at least 3,000, say, to fund your book, if you set a goal of 100, the chances are you might not get much past that goal, because people will think, well, they've done it now. You might actually not have you might fund, but then not have enough to actually produce the book and be out of pocket. So I think you've got to be,
that does make sense, actually, Shane.
You've got to be sensible with your goal, haven't you? And it needs to cover your costs. But obviously, you've already done that on.
You have. I mean, to say you smashed your goal is vastly underestimated.
Exactly.
Oh my God, that 100 times.
I mean, it really helps that obviously this is our 49th Kickstarter, so we've got a good following. Generally, the goals aren't £100; they're generally about £1,000. But again, £1,000 wouldn't cover. If someone submitted to us, like Phil Chapman does System Error, so he submitted that to us. So actual art costs and weren't there because he's already done the book.
Right.
So we're just funding for printing costs and everything else. But if it was one that I'd written or Marielle, my wife, had written, then we would, there would be costs involved there that we would have to, try and cover. But even then, we put it on there for £1,000 because we're a publisher as well. I mean, so we've got, in theory, we've got some reserves to cover that. But the nice thing is, for the last, I don't know how many, we generally hit £4,000 or £5,000. So I'm fairly confident. There you go. It's gone up again. Fairly confident it's going to it's going to fund. So that's really why it is. So.
I've already done that one.
Yeah, that's all right.
Let's have a look at the preview.
That's a nice comment.
Thank you, Martin.
Let's give it a go.
What's that?
Oh, you're going to try and play the trailer? Fingers crossed.
I think I can hear it.
Imagine some beautiful music.
It is, but I can't hear it.
No.
Oh, I can hear the music. Can anyone else hear the music?
That's because it's in your speakers, Sam.
It's great music.
Yeah.
So there's
I would try and hum it for you, but it just wouldn't work.
You have to play it. You have to play it to your mic.
It's a bit Star Trek Next Generation introduction music.
Yeah, okay.
I can't
play it to your microphone. You need to put it on your microphone.
I can't. I've got it in my headphones. I can try. Hang on.
You have to take the headphones off. Never mind.
Can you hear that?
No.
Let's just say
Sam is my tech guy.
It's not doing it justice.
Music swells.
Yeah.
No, but it is lovely music. So go on to the Kickstarter, folks.
Yeah.
Not only pledge, make sure you watch the trailer. And
honestly, that music was great. Like when you see the. I'm not a big football fan, but there's like Sky Football where they can't show the football, but they show people watching the football and talking about it. Well, like that, it was great music, and honestly, it was really good. Kind of like that.
So, I mean, as I was just saying before we went live, that the video is always the last thing I do on the page. But I always have to try and find the right music before I start doing a video. That's actually key. If I don't find the right music, I just have to. So it's a case of searching through. I use a chap who has, it's not royalty free. I don't know what, but I pay him out of money and.
But this System Error looks excellent. Let's bring up the preview that's on the website.
Yeah, give us an idea.
So we have a robot called Ito whose job is to hand out leaflets in London. during the day, so it's obviously set slightly in the future, and then basically one day it wakes up and everything has changed and it's all wonderfully overgrown. And I think one of the beauties of Sister Vera is just the detail in the background of the actual of London, the sort of overgrown London.
I love the storytelling on that page, by the way, when he's waking up. It's really nice. It's a really nice, like, simple little bit of storytelling. I think it's really effective. Really like it. The lovely panels they are.
Yes, so
that's great.
Yeah, it's a great
post-apocalyptic landscape is always great. But
fun to draw.
Yeah, it's pretty.
So it's like essentially British Wally.
British Wally with a little bit of I Am Legend thrown in for good measure.
Yeah. No, it's really good. It's really good. So I'm very pleased and very proud to be able to publish it.
So is this parts 1, 2, and 3? Excellent.
Yes.
And it's really good value as well. Because I did have a look. I am going to pledge myself because I want to read it. I want to find out what happens. And
£5 for
£5 each, which is incredibly cheap.
A lot of people have had that feedback saying, there you
go, physical £15 there. One,
three. So there you go. Yeah. I can show you that the system over here on this here. So yes, but I don't know. That
works.
Cost plus whatever percentage added on. So that's what it is. I'm not here to fleece people. Sorry, I don't know whether I'm not here to.
That's a good word as any.
Yeah, I'm just here to produce good stuff that people want to read. It's not.
Well, you people obviously appreciate what you do in that respect because 49 crowdfunding campaigns, most of them Kickstarters, all successful, I presume. Have you ever had one that hasn't hit target?
I have. I cried for days. Yeah, no, I did.
Right.
We had one for Macbeth the Red King. Didn't fund, and that was again. It's just learning, isn't it? That's where you learn most of the time. But fortunately, it was fine. I actually did that one on our website. I was using anyway. I found a plugin for like a mini crowdfunding thing, so I just used that. So,
cool. Your early bird sales are very good as well. They all. Sorry.
Yes, I try and it runs to a pattern. So the early birds are really good. It's good to be able to obviously email out to people and say, okay, these are going to run out, or there are some early birds. Have a look, see whether you like it, and then as they're about to run out, you obviously you email out and you say yes, they're about to run out. And Backer Kit launch, if you've ever seen that, Backer Kit do the launch option, which if you're thinking of running Kickstarters, has an amazing return, far better return than a lot of things I've used. So
I also noticed you've got no high-end rewards, and there's no like art or extra or have dinner with the creator. Literally the most expensive one you've got is 40. Oh, I've gone to pounds now. That's interesting. That's interesting. So do you feel that they don't work, or is there just nothing really?
No, I was going to ask about that actually, because two of the things that a lot of people use to get to their targets is number one is high-end rewards. Number two is variant covers. Neither of which it looks like you've partaken in. And I was going to ask about your thought process on that.
Thought process, I think, at this stage is that, and it goes back to the fact that we run one a month. So all of a sudden, the more complicated I make it, future Simon is just going to hate me that little bit more.
That's very sensible.
So that's why we do it. We do some variant covers. I'm trying to find something. I haven't got any here. But anyway, some of our single issues we have variant covers on. And the thing on the doorstep, I think when we did part one of that, we got a variant cover. but not do it lots. This was just a simple. Okay, let's just do this one and see what happens. That's why it's got a low thing. I mean, I was kind of expecting it to do £1,000, and now it's on 8,500 or 8,700. So it's just it's blown me away a bit, really. But yeah,
how long have you got? How long have you got left on the campaign?
That is all from low end.
Yeah, 6 days.
Just a physical copy. That's incredible.
So, yeah. You're
probably going to hit 10 grand, aren't you?
Yeah, I would have thought so at this stage. We've got the ones which are like goes up to the highest one at the moment is £51. So
there you go. You're on 8,700.
Yeah, that's right.
So because usually in your last day you'll do £1,000, I would have thought.
Yeah, you still got 6 days to go.
Yeah, we should.
Incredible. That's really cool. That's really good.
Yeah, and so again, the other point is stretch goals as well. So I always hum and ha about stretch goals. So because they add to the weight and they add to everything else, and it's I have to be very careful. And again, future Simon, I need to appease him. So it's so whilst we
keep it simple, that's the key. That's the key.
It is. I do love simple. Simple campaigns are really nice. If you can make them work, it's fantastic.
Again, I have run campaigns in the past where bless me, I had T-shirts on it, and that's great. But obviously, not a lot of people go for that one, and there's a minimum order quantity, and all of a sudden you stick a T-shirt in a parcel, and it's a small parcel instead of a large letter.
Okay. Expensive to send, expensive to make.
So it doesn't make any sense. So, all in all, I try and keep things flat and light. So,
or digital.
Well, how are you finding the printing and the posting? So, do you have a lot of? Where do you print in the UK and send it out?
So Comic Printing UK, Rich. I'm sure we've all heard of him. So he does the printing. Although saying that, we also do game books, but we can come on to those later on. So we do game books as well. So the choose your own adventure things. I have that. They're printed by Bell and Bain, which are a Scottish printer. So they've done my game books. But Rich does most of it. Although saying that
you've written those yourself.
Yes, I wrote that.
I've got some questions about how you write those things.
That's the other one. Okay, I can answer those. That's fine.
You're buzzing Ian Livingstone.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I co-wrote a film that Ian Livingstone is in. There you go. I'm going to say that. So if you,
it's all connected.
It's all connected. It is. So so system out here. This is actually printed from Awesome. So Awesome do printing, so there you go. That's what I use. So there's something slightly different there because it's A5. They do A5 24
is that
pages.
Square bound?
I think so. It's
saddle stitched, isn't it?
Yeah, it's stapled, but it seems to be more square than a lot of things. I don't know the technical terms. That's why I use Rich. He knows what you're doing.
Let the printer worry about all that stuff.
Yeah. Just send it to them. So that.
What you want?
Hello.
Look, say hello.
Just mute, please.
No, I'm
yes.
All right, very 1 second.
Yeah, it's fine.
You better add. Yeah, we'll let Sam go and deal with his issue.
Yeah, you do it. So anyway, so that's printing wise. But they're really good. They're good printers. I try and use sensible printers. I have used a printer overseas before, but obviously with Brexit that makes it, I think, even more complicated. So I try and use people in the UK because again, I also have a game, a board game sort of a tabletop game that I've done it, and I took to Essen Spiel this year just to play test and stuff like that. So that's been fun as well. That's a whole different level of stress. But anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking about
but on crowdfunding, the games are doing really well at the moment, aren't they? I think it's their, after tech, it's their biggest earner, I think.
Very much. Let's turn this off. But yes, so it is indeed. Gosh.
So I wanted to ask you about the shipping, actually, because
Oh yes.
Obviously, you do a lot of stuff and a lot of titles, so you've got a lot of experience now. How have you found the increased shipping prices to the States and the difficulties with Brexit, shipping stuff to Europe? Has that been a little bit of a bane? I know I have myself. I've had real troubles with shipping overseas the last year. How's it affected you guys?
Yeah, it has complicated things. When it comes to for everything outside of Europe, we use economy shipping. So basically, and it works out. If I was to ship again, system error in a thing, it will cost about £5, and it takes. They'll say up to 8 weeks to get there. A lot of the time, I think it's between a week or 2 weeks it gets there. So again, and this was I got this information. Well, Joey from Afterlight Comics sort of does this, and I wasn't doing it before, but he said I just ship everything economy. So really, as soon as he said that, I started doing that as well, and it works really well. And we don't really have returns based on the fact that it's economy. So the only most of the returns we have are obviously people not knowing that it's arrived in European customs. Or not wanting to pay a really high amount of money, and I do understand that completely. We're just not, as a company, we're not set up to be able to prepay VAT and all that sort of stuff.
It's just not worth the hassle, is it? It's really isn't.
No, sometimes you can see here, there's lots of big boxes behind which needs to go out. But for these things, I mean, I use like a Parcel to Go website, which allows me to do couriers. So and there I can actually pay. So on some of the bigger parcels, I think I am able to pay that.
Okay, well, that should help. Although I must say, we recently had an issue with Parcels to Go.
Oh, really?
They lost 4 boxes.
And I'm back.
Gosh,
hey.
Sorry. I
was just telling Simon about how we lost 4 boxes in the States recently because of I think it was Parcels to Go. They messed up big style.
Sorry, I was just having a discussion with my son about cheese sandwiches.
Excellent.
Excellent. Thank you.
Need to clarify the number of bread and what was in it. Just cheese. Yeah. For some reason, he's got to take cheese sandwiches to his school tomorrow, but there has to be a certain amount of cheese sandwiches. And it has to be a certain type of cheese. Anyway, sorry.
Do they get inspected? That's weird.
Sorry.
Yeah, do they do a taste test? Oh, it's not mature enough.
I asked him what cheese, and he said block cheese. I went, what's block cheese? He went, the block of cheese. I went, well, do you mean cheddar? And he said, whatever. I don't.
Yeah. Does it have a name?
And then I listed different types of cheeses, and he said, I don't care about names of cheese. They're all disgusting. I just want block cheese.
Block cheese.
None of this surprises me, really.
I tried to get into explaining about Stilton and how there's actually mold.
Oh, don't get started on that. He's too young for Stilton.
You're never too young for Stilton. It's the best. Good Stilton gets you right in the nostrils there, like mustard.
I love it. I love Stilton. I'm a big cheese. I love cheese. Too much.
Oh, who doesn't love cheese? Well, the lactose intolerant.
You might notice, Simon, that sometimes on this show we go right off piste,
That's right.
And it's usually Sam's fault. I'm just going to say that.
I know. Like Shane and Ollie just want to keep it on.
I'm going to make a note of it.
I'm like, you know what? Let's have a discussion about something else, like cheese. What's your favourite cheese, Simon?
Well, I'm glad you bloody asked. I think it's actually something. I just going to sound so posh. It's something like Gouda or something. Ooh, I know.
Very posh.
I know. Well, but I don't know. It's just a taste.
Well, I'm a big fan of. Have you ever heard of Cambozola?
I think I have heard of it. I think.
So Cambozola, it's like a soft, creamy cheese, but it's a soft, creamy blue cheese. So it's a cross between Brie and Stilton. It's amazing. It's really nice. Oh yeah. Shane, cheese?
Yeah, Brie has to be Brie.
Brie?
Yeah, I love it.
Brie's nice.
I mean, with a bit of cranberry sauce, lovely.
It's the season, so.
But I mean, Brie. I mean, that's a very straight. One would say bland cheese.
No, I think it's subtle.
Yeah.
There you go. Another thing about cheese.
Subtle and bland.
Is a good thing. Do you know, like, eating cheese, it tastes like being hit in the nose.
Okay.
You're just weird.
Camembert.
Is it the block cheese you're talking about?
Camembert, like a strong camembert.
In the block, you get hit in the nose.
Yeah. Approach it slowly. That's
honestly, camembert, a strong camembert, it tastes of being hitting in the nose. I mean, maybe that's a slight bit of synesthesia I've got, but it's weird. The camembert.
We're getting comments on cheese now.
Oh, the moves made the breed.
Yeah. International
Do a new cheese Kickstarter.
I'm obviously making Roots Lion laugh with my cheese talk. Thanks, Roots Lion. What's your favourite cheese, Roots Lion?
We could make our own ice cast cheese, couldn't we? And do it on Kickstarter.
The C can stand for cheese now.
I tell you, I've got another cheese, an amusing cheese story. Then I'll stop talking about it. When I was a kid, I remember I was in the bath, and I
do we need to hear this?
Do we need this?
Yeah, I've got a glass of water.
They're not watching for this, you know.
Honestly,
they're not watching for your
I'll stop after
stories.
this. I've got a glass of water from the bath, so a bath water.
This is why
I told my dad that I was going to leave it until it turns into cheese.
What, the water?
So, yeah, the glass of bath water. I didn't fully understand what cheese was at that age, and I left it by the side of the bath.
And with Roots Lion on this one,
literally,
let's talk
like weeks. My dad left that and then to point it and go, "That's not how cheese is made."
So,
and that's how I learned about cheese.
But honestly,
anyway,
I would just change it into cheese. I mean, what was he doing? Your dad needs to wake up a bit.
Put a bit of cottage cheese into it.
Put some Dairy Lee in there. That'll make it.
My dad was a realist. Yeah.
So, Cthulhu.
Yeah.
So, obviously, you've covered a lot. That's the other thing I wanted to ask you about.
We got Call of Cthulhu here. There you go.
That looks lovely, actually.
It is. It's very nice. This is Lyndon. We all know probably Lyndon. Lyndon White.
Lyndon White. Yes. So recently got an award from the Arts Council, didn't he?
Who was that?
There we go. So he does these one rather lovely concertina books, as you can see, with art. Different sort of. So we have 8 different scenes from the book or from the story. And it's just beautiful. Anyway, sorry.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So with all those books that you're doing, is there you said you do more than one genre, you don't just do one genre.
That's
but
correct.
For people who are looking at Blue Fox and thinking, I'm going to try a few of their books, what genres do you favor? Because I do find that even the most varied publisher tends to lean towards certain genres.
Good. Well, when people walk up, I mean, so the image that you probably saw that I sent through of the thought bubble table or 2 tables. So generally, when people walk up, one of the sales spiel is, we've got a darker end of the table and it gets gradually lighter as you go up, and that's the kind of thing. Although I then do say, although they're all a little bit darker, however young they are. But so I'm not. We do have a bit of horror, but we also, got Fishing Memories, which is about dementia. So we have slice of life books as well. Another book again from Lyndon, who drew it, called The Mind of James Van Gogh. It's about PTSD. So we have those sorts of books. Here, this is the latest. This is our current one, which I'm going to start sending out next week. But Shed, which is like a small town horror graphic novel, which is wonderfully beautiful, by Richard Fairgren and Lucy Campagnoli. So yeah, it's all and it's absolutely just beautiful art. So that's kind of. That's a creeping horror, I would say.
So are we talking wooden outbuildings or relieving things or getting rid of things?
Shed. I think it's getting rid of things, really.
Okay, because
considering there's not really
a
shed in it, so yeah.
Double meaning. That's the beauty, isn't it? You can have these titles that have 2 meanings at the same time. It can mean both.
Yeah. So yes, so that sort of thing. But we also have all sorts of. We have Gorm, which is sci-fi. We have the Hairy Dragons, which is like a 70s set, sort of younger one, but again, it's really just really nice. I don't know, just so much. We do have a lot of Macbeth, as we said before, Macbeth the Red King, which is kind of a more real life telling of who Macbeth is from the information that people have of him. And just there's just a lot. Yeah, no, but
So
it is.
What do you think it is then that keeps the same people coming back? Because usually, I mean, a lot the usual advice that would be given would be, stick to your guns, stick to your genre, because that'll keep your fans coming back because they know what they like. But yet you get people coming back with different genres, different age groups, even that you're aiming at.
They obviously see the Blue Fox comics as a
what do you think it is?
What
do you think it is that holds it all together? Something obviously does, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think obviously one of the important things is that we deliver. So we actually, we've run 49 and we're delivering 49 Kickstarters. So people come back to us because they trust us. But they also, I mean, I think one of the things which we look for in a story, whether we've written it or whether somebody submitted it to us, are strong characters, strong characterization, diverse books. I happen to write a lot of female-led stories. I don't know. We just for books. I don't know. It's just a lot of people do come back with the comments. I get it on a lot of the Kickstarters. I really like what Blue Fox do. So it's one of those things. If Mario and if I like it, then that's pretty much the kind of the litmus test as to whether we're actually going to go forward and publish it. So yeah, that's it really. Yeah, fair enough. And then
I was just looking at the comments.
We've got that's our first spam, isn't it?
Serious spam.
Yeah,
you get a lot of spam.
Hey, we've hit the big time now.
Yeah,
I
don't know why
are sending comments.
Cheese. We need to talk about cheese.
That's what it is. Cheese algorithm and spot.
Cheese, yeah,
that's right. Right.
That cheese talk has hit the spammers. Yeah.
So
now we're getting girls.
Martin, a genuine comment. Enjoying Clodagh, waiting for issue 3. Lovely book.
Well, funny you should say that.
Clodagh about?
My work today has been Clodagh 3, and I'm putting Clodagh 3 into envelopes. I'm literally sitting. I will show you the side so you don't see these, but envelopes ad infinitum, and they're sort of everywhere. And because of the postal strike, I can't do it. I can't actually send them out until tomorrow. But so lots of Clodagh.
Post office is still open. I posted something today.
Yeah, but they won't go.
I go to the delivery office. I have big sacks, and I go there and I look at them with my doleful eyes, and I say,
no judgment.
That's going to set off spammers as well.
Yeah. Can you get any worse? There you go.
So you do all this yourself? You don't have a distributor doing the deliveries for you, doing the packing? Are you guys doing that yourself?
No, my label printer is just here. You can't see it. Right? Anyway, here it is. So there's my label printer. So I do it all myself.
Wow.
And we are looking, hopefully next year, to again simplify the Kickstarters or the crowdfunding, just to have less add-ons, because obviously you might get it. Yeah, right. You'll get it before Christmas.
Less add-ons. I mean, your campaigns have already pretty stripped down and simple.
Yeah, the System Error one is before that. The one before that, we had we were over 100 add-ons that people could buy.
Really?
Because we've done so many
is this
books.
System Error one of your most successful ones then?
Yeah. I'm really very pleased for just 3 issues to raise. 3 single issues to raise that much money so far is very good. But they've all done pretty well recently. It seems to be it's all going up. Clodagh is again something that I've written. We've done. It's a 5-issue arc, and we kickstarted issue 3 earlier this year. That's a fantasy where an ex-mercenary called Clodagh, her new family, the daughter is kidnapped, and the father of the daughter goes off to try and save her, but then Clodagh, being actually experienced, thinks, okay, I'm going to have to go and save them, really. So she goes and has to save them. So I know I've really enjoyed Clodagh does very well. And again, it's a different sort of thing. It's a straight out fantasy sort of thing. So with strange beasts, but that's got quite a big message behind it, which I quite like. It's always interesting when you're writing something and it really helps. But there you go. Sorry, that's me waffling about Clodagh. But yes, that's what Martin's talking about there. So, and he'll receive it before March 2023.
Yes, I mean we've still got a little bit of time before the Christmas post stops, haven't we?
Yeah, I just at this stage I'm going to fill up my Christmas sacks and take them down to the delivery office tomorrow, and hopefully they'll all be there, at some point, which is good. So that's good.
So looking ahead, then, I mean, you've done 49 Kickstarters. I mean, that's quite a pace, 12 a year. Do you see yourself keeping that pace up? Or are you going to sort of say, you know what, we're going to sort of refine it a little bit, maybe do less, but give more, look at, changing the model? Or are you just going to keep going? Because, none of us are getting any younger, are we? And it's
actually, I'm only 25, so this is what it's done to me.
How long can that sort of pace be maintained? Basically the short question is, what are your plans for the future, I guess?
Just the same. It's not going to let up. We've got the great thing is, again, for having the lovely thing, Thought Bubble, we had that great double table. A lot of our comics were there, and it, we actually had someone come up to us and show us a book, and who hopefully a really beautiful book, and so hopefully that's come on board from that. So that's going to happen. We've got people sending stuff into us, which is really exciting. I never realized how excited I was going to be about publishing other people's stuff. It's interesting.
It's addictive, isn't it? I'm the same with what we do at Scratch. It's I love putting other people's work out there. It's so exciting when you discover somebody who's brilliant and talented, and then to put their stuff out and to help them find an audience. I totally understand that. It's a real bug, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you find it hard?
It's groovy.
Hey, Lauren. Hal?
Sorry,
Lauren. Hal.
Let's jump to this. Do you find it hard to say no? Because obviously you get all this good stuff coming in. There's only so much you can do. Do you find that it's like, oh, I really want to do that, but then you're doing too much?
We're not at that stage yet where there's so much good stuff, because again, we will have personal tastes, and so certain things come in and you think, that's good, but that's not what we're about. So we're not at the stage yet where I'm inundated with really great stuff that we'd love to publish, and I don't know what we'd do then. But so it's just going very well at the moment. I'm looking forward to the
perfect pace, I guess. You're getting just the right amount of stuff in that you can manage to publish. Because there's only 12 months in the year. They're not going to make any new ones, are they? So I mean, it gets to that point. If it does get to that point, I guess what are you going to do? How are you going to cope with that? Are you going to try and look at changing the model so you can publish more, or are you just going to have to start saying no to people?
See, this is another reason to look at other sites like Crowdfunder, because they're okay with doing more than one campaign at a time.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So that possibility.
Oh, does Kickstarter not allow you to do more than one?
No.
At a time.
No.
Really?
Yeah, and you have to do 4 campaigns before they'll let you even overlap. You have to. I think you have to deliver on your last campaign before you can start the next one, until you've done 4 campaign, and then they'll allow you to overlap a little bit. Obviously, they must allow you to
time you could do a campaign then on Kickstarter.
Oh, you could just I mean, this one was about 16 days, I think. This one, but I mean, we've done them in 9 days before, if we need to, just to focus people's minds. It works. I mean, So I did this one for 16 days, I think. Mainly started on a Tuesday, finishing on a Thursday. A couple of good days to use, honestly. And if you go much beyond that, you get the dreaded sort of straight line of well, not death,
tumbleweed days,
straight life of tumbleweed. Yeah. So
you got $10,000 in 10 days. That's impressive.
Yeah. Again, it's done amazing. So
it really is.
But don't let anyone stop. Pledging for it.
Keep pledging.
Yeah.
Well, the point is now that anyone who backs this knows for 100% sure that they will, it will be funded and it will go ahead.
Yeah. It's confidence, isn't it? And it's interesting what you were saying about, going over because I mean, I've done a shorter campaign, and it happened to be the best campaign I've ever done, and it was 10 days shorter than a normal campaign. So I think there is a lot to be said for shorter campaigns. It does create urgency. I mean, I do think we probably could have got more if we'd have gone on longer, but I don't know how much more.
There's an effort, isn't there? How much effort do you put in? Because because those tumbleweed days are the ones where you do a lot of work, and to get one or two, if you're lucky, extra pledges, and that's fine, and that's how it works. It edges up and edges up and edges up, and that's okay. But again, you just got to think, well, what's the best use of my time? Is it here? Is it sitting here stressing about it and trying to think out wacky ideas to get more eyes on my project, or do I just kind of let it run its course? So in the early days, yes, it was quite stressful, but now our pages have a format to them. They're all the same headings, just obviously different words in certain places. And then so really I don't get stressed running the Kickstarters.
That's good.
But it's just all the packaging afterwards.
So I've got a question there, Simon. Go on. Blue Fox Comics. Where does the name come from? Is it one of those random things where you smash a color with a thing to make a name, like Purple Bricks, so people remember it, or is there an actual blue fox?
No. Marielle came up with it. My wife came up with it, so she said that's a good thing.
Color in an animal is always good, isn't it?
I mean, Dark Horse. I know it's not a color, but like it's a shade. But it works really well.
Purple Bricks,
Although bricks aren't animals, but they are selling houses, so it sort of makes sense.
I mean, what's it? Yeah, what's it, like the card company Moonpig? I mean, it's got nothing to do with cards, but it's memorable. So
yeah, it is.
I presume that means good question.
Good question.
Thank you, Roots Lion. You've smashed a part of the body with an animal and made your name as well, and put the Facebook. What is it? A Family Guy monkey.
Is that what it is?
That's It's the one that used to accuse the sun or point at the sun in his cupboard.
Yes.
I can't remember what happened. That was a joke they dropped earlier on.
Yeah.
But thanks, Roots. Or can I call you Lion?
Caught you lying. So we're getting towards the end of the show now. Whoa, that just snuck up on us. Wow. Right. I wanted to pick your brains about publishing and all sorts of stuff.
Please do. I mean,
sorry, I may have taken up some of the time with my
too much cheese.
Talk.
Too much cheese.
People love it. Look, we got more viewers when we talked about cheese.
We got more spammers.
Yeah.
So, as soon as I mentioned cheese, we started getting spammers.
All right, can we not talk about cheese? So your publishing model, obviously, you're taking on other people's work. You're doing your own work as well.
Yeah.
I looked at your breakdowns for this campaign, and it seemed as though there was a lot. Everything was covered. It was all very transparent, which is great, which I think is really important for campaigns.
Yeah.
But there didn't seem to be much left over for you. Does it work? I mean, your motive. I mean, I'm not going to ask you about what you earn or anything like that. What the
millions?
Point of my question, the point of my question is what's your motivation? Is it not primarily money? Is it more about working with people? What makes you get up in the morning?
Building something to go from there.
Yeah. What keeps you going?
Well, obviously, here's going funny. It's my full-time job. So now in lockdown, November 2020 is when I started doing it full time, and with support from my wife completely. I mean, she pays a lot of the bills. But yeah, so part of it is that. But again, writing is my passion. And I did IT since I was 18, so 32 years or so. I was doing IT, which is fine and very nice and paid the bills. But now, we just saw, it's just one of those things where we said, okay, well, let's try it for 3 months. Let's see what happens in November 2020. And here I am still doing it full time. So that's, that's good. Yeah, what? Yeah, see, because sometimes I sit here and I think, do I really want to be this massive publisher? I just say I can't answer that question. I do want to do it and see what happens. I mean, I would say that next year I do have a comic coming out via Top Cow and Image, so that's kind of help. And having a lot of comics as business cards, basically, isn't it? Really, sort of say, okay, this is what I've done. This is what I've been able to produce.
Proof, isn't it?
Really helped. So that's really good. So
can you tell us anything about it, or is it all?
Yeah, I don't think I can yet.
No,
but
don't get him into trouble, Sam. Don't get him into trouble.
No, it's happening.
Do you have an artist? And
yes, 3 issues are done now. 3 issues are created, and yes, so obviously the final 2 to be done. It's a 5-issue.
We'll have to have you back on when that comes out, definitely.
Definitely. I mean, we do have repeat guests. We have people back on,
Yeah,
and we like them.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's gone really well. So that really helps as well. So that's a bit of progress. You should say, okay, that's really good. I can see that things are changing or things are progressing. I've had some. I mean, both Mario and I has interesting meetings with people recently, and who knows if anything's going to come out of that? It might do, it might not. So there's a potential way forward there in a surprising way. But really, no, it's exciting, isn't it? I do love comics. I do love the community. I do really like Kickstarter. I mean, I genuinely, when I'm wrapping things up and I see, I come across a name that I know, which happens more often than not, it just makes me happy, and I get a lot of good comments again, like Roots Lion here, and they really and people really like it, and it gives me a buzz, doesn't it? I mean, it always does. So
it's great, isn't it, when people continuously come back, because it's not a fluke. They're there for a reason, whatever it is for them, but they're getting something out of what you're producing, on a regular basis. I mean, like with Roots' comment there, he's talking about quality, which is a major thing, because a lot of publishers out there, even some of the big publishers, aren't that big on quality these days.
I think that's true. I mean, I've written. I know I've read a few comics when I had some days off, and unfortunately the stuff that I read was very good. But I have honestly read some big name things, and I thought it's okay. It's okay. What I don't really understand. But then there you go. I don't know, but we just do what we do, and we do it our own way.
So let's just check this one more time. System error.
Is it moving?
No. Just making sure people, all our viewers.
Actually,
yes. And it is always nice, isn't it, when you do? I don't know if you've ever seen it.
6 days left.
When it moves in real time, the figure. When you see it going up. It only happens at certain times in a campaign, but
we've got a few people watching now. If anyone watching now hasn't pledged, go now and pledge. So we can see it. You've got about 30 seconds.
Well, I've got to do mine. Before we end the show, should we do a live pledge?
A live pledge.
Oh yeah, okay.
Let's see if I can make the numbers move.
Okay.
Go to my Kickstarter.
Tonight we've got live pledging.
Icecast live pledging.
Yeah.
Um,
there you go.
So Marty's asked,
Well, are
you reading?
Shane pledges.
Yeah.
When you have
sorry.
a few minutes, what comics are you reading?
The ones that I've read recently, he says, the Layla Starr one by Ram V. Something Deaths of Layla Starr. I can't remember the first, but yeah, that's really good. Really enjoyed that. Then I read the Jeff Lemire one with a lighthouse because for some reason I quite like lighthouses. I think it's because I really like playing BioShock. But
you're a fan of ships not crashing into rocks.
I guess so. So the Bone Orchard. So the first one of that, I can't remember the damn name, but so I read that one. I really enjoyed that. There was another one. I'm going to say Matt. Is it Matt
Rosenberg? I think.
Yeah. So the one, the same chap who did 4 Kids Walk Into a Bank, but that was it's one of his earlier ones. But again, really, really good. Really enjoyed it. A lot of them were one and done. Oh, and The Me You Love in the Dark was I really enjoyed. I enjoyed that. So
all very indie. You're all very
some good
indie,
stuff there. Some good stuff.
It is indie. I don't really read Marvel or DC. I mean, I read a Poison Ivy younger, again a one-shot hardback that came out last year, which is really good.
If you want to read a Marvel or DC, you have to read Human Target at the moment.
Okay.
Great.
I mean, it's just perfect. Writing is amazing, and the art is just incredible.
Greg Smallwood, really good.
Yeah. I mean, and also it links back to like the 80s comics as well, which it's just perfect.
No, we should see that move when you refer. I don't know if it's moved.
It should just. The other one, not moved yet. I'm going to get Friday. No, there we go. It's come up for me. So thank you very much. So there you go.
You're welcome.
Friday Volume 2 as well, just to get another one in.
Live
Friday by Ed Brubaker. That is superb. That's some of the best.
Yeah. Ed Brubaker is
consistently
good. I get all of the stuff he does with Sean. I get, I pretty much everything he's done in the last sort of 20 years. I think I've bought. It's good.
Very nice.
Always good. Great storyteller. Great. He's great at the characterizations, and I love his crime stuff because he's really good at the classic sort of the crime stories where the main protagonist is sort of gets deeper and deeper into the shit. It's that classic, noir, and he's so good at doing that. The situations that he pulls the characters into, they're all so believable. They're also varied. They're usually to do with a woman, a femme fatale, but it's great stuff. It's great stuff. It really is. Yeah, and thanks, Martin. Yeah, some cool, impressive stuff, definitely. So we are at the end of the show, and I've really enjoyed chatting with you, Simon. We'll get you on again if you care to come on again, because
I'm happy to talk about publishing stuff as well. Obviously, talk that. I do have I do have a whole side where we do have a distributor, so all our books are available in comic shop in bookshops around the UK. And we also have stuff going to Diamond as well. But so I'd love to be able to talk to you about that stuff as well, because I think it's really important.
Have like a deep dive publishing nerd.
Deep dive. Yeah, I think what we'll do, I think we'll get yourself on and maybe a couple of other prolific publishers and do a publishing sort of round table. I think that could be really good, looking at the pitfalls of publishing and sharing ideas and things like that. Because there's a lot of knowledge out there, isn't there? Some people doing some really good stuff like yourself, and I think there's a lot of people who are interested in that, and I think that could be a really good show. So
we've currently got 6 viewers on the YouTube channel and only one thumbs up. So can everyone on the YouTube channel please give this a like?
I've got 9 viewers. I've got 9 viewers.
Yeah, no. But if you hover over it, you put the break.
I will reassure you, Simon, and say that most of our viewers watch after the live show.
Oh, absolutely.
We do get a lot of viewers. Yeah,
that's okay.
But can everyone just like it now, please? What are you doing? Like the video now, please. Thank you, Martin. There you go. People say don't beg for likes, but absolutely works.
Oh,
Just do it.
Sam does.
Yeah.
Sam does.
We're creators here.
That's it. You've got to beg. You're a creator. You've got to beg for everything.
Like and subscribe. No, like and subscribe. What are you doing?
Subscribe.
Anyway.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Simon.
Thank you, Simon. Thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure chatting with you.
I'm going to brush up on my cheeses.
So.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, like I said, try a Cambozola. It's surprisingly.
Okay. Next time for the round table, okay, what we'll do, we'll bring a cheese board.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll all bring our favourite cheese.
A cheese off or something.
Yeah.
Cheese off.
Yeah, cheese off.
I'm not sure that's right.
Not cheesed off. A cheese off.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, very good.
Right, shall I run the end?
Yeah.
End credits. Let's get out of here.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Simon. Good
night.
night.
Bye. 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 Bye.